Hi, how's it going? Today I want to show you this plant that I use as a focal point of my patio, and it's been giving me so much joy, you guys. This is Phantom Hydrangea or Hydrangea Paniculata. The one that I have is in a tree form, as you can see there. I got this tree last year in the summer of 2020, and right now it is August of 2021. So it's been in the ground for just a little over a year, and it's performing really, really well for me. This is a sun-loving hydrangea, by the way, and my patio gets a lot of sun. I would say at least 6 hours a day of afternoon sun, so it's pretty strong sun, but it really loves it. And if you give it full sun, it'll flower really well. I don't fertilize it too much. Like, I don't really fertilize my garden too much. I would do that maybe twice in the springtime and that's it. But this is how it's been doing. It has large conical flowers that will turn pink. Like, I already see like a lot of pinks on it already as we move closer to fall. But yeah, it's really beautiful. Like, from afar, it really looks like you're staring at a large cone of vanilla strawberry ice cream. It's a sight. But yeah, that's Phantom Hydrangea. Let's go take a closer look. So right now, this tree is standing at, I would say, 6 feet tall. When I first got it, it was a little shorter and definitely not as wide as this. So in a span of a year, it has almost doubled in size. Let me show you some pictures of what this tree looked like when I first bought it last year. The size of the trunk in terms of height doesn't really change, and it will not change, but the branches of the shrub will grow longer, adding widths and heights to this tree. The little florets of phantom hydrangeas, when they first bloom, they are the color of soft green, like with a little hint of white. And as the summer goes on and they get bigger and longer, they'll turn like ivory white, like this. This footage was taken in late August or early September of 2021. If I move in really close, you'll see that on top of the florets, they're starting to turn pink. And I think that's another fantastic feature of this tree. It gives such a wonderful color changing show all throughout the season. Now let me take you through the life cycle of Phantom Hydrangea in different months throughout the year. Once the bloom cycle is finished, the leaves will start to turn brown and fall off the tree. You have the option to leave the blooms on the branches for some winter interest. Late winter to early spring is a good time to do some light pruning if you desire. Compared to my other trees, Phantom Hydrangea leaves out a little bit later. This was mid to late April. But within about a month or so, it fills up quite quickly, and then you start seeing the tiny little buds on top of the branches. These large panicles are made up of classic hydrangea florets. When they first bloom, they are a soft shade of green, and then they'll turn ivory white as time goes on. And then towards fall, they'll turn pink. You really just can't get bored with this tree. It is so fantastic. The color changing effect of the Phantom Hydrangea tree has nothing to do with the soil pH. If you are new to the gardening world or new to the world of hydrangeas like myself, you might have heard that, hydrangeas will change color according to the soil pH. This is not the case. So Phantom Hydrangea is Hydrangea Paniculata. The types that change color according to soil pH is Hydrangea macrophylla. And that's a different story. So with this guy here, you don't really need to fuss about the soil as long as it's well draining and it is kept consistently moist. These long and large conical blooms can get as big as 15 inches. The biggest ones that I have are about 9 to 10 inches. The branches of Phantom Hydrangeas are pretty sturdy and strong, and they will not flop over, unlike many other hydrangeas. Another thing that I find about my Phantom Hydrangea is that it doesn't mind having other smaller plants around the base as long as it's not too close. So around this area, I planted a bunch of other things like oriental lilies, some wallflowers, a juga as some ground cover there. I also have some tulip bulbs that will come up in the springtime, and then I have some chrysanthemum and some coleus and things like that. So this is kind of a friendly tree. Like, it does really well around other plants, unlike my other trees. Like, I have some magnolia trees that do not like to share their space with other plants, but that's not the case with Phantom Hydrangea tree. This is one of my favorites in the garden for sure. What else can I share with you guys? Oh, and earlier this year, from the base of the trunk, I saw a little sucker that came out of it. And I really wasn't sure. When I bought this tree, I wasn't sure whether it was a grafted tree or something that, a shrub that was trained into a small tree. But out of curiosity, I planted the sucker anyway, and it took off. It actually sprouted little leaves that look like the mother plant. So I'm not sure. Maybe next year I'll have another one of the Phantom Hydrangea in a shrub form. Yeah, this is kind of exciting. Let me show you my little pot that I planted from the sucker of this tree. It, in my opinion, I think the leaves look similar to the ones of the mother plants. Or it might be a different plant entirely. I guess I'll find out in a year or 2 or 3. Some websites state that hydrangea trees are actually shrubs that got trained into small trees by nurseries, so I kind of have high hopes for this. But I'm not an expert. If you are, or if you have owned hydrangea trees before, feel free to drop me a line and tell me if what I'm thinking is incorrect. Now let's take a look at the trunk. It is standing at 3 to 3.5 feet tall. It has not increased in height, and I don't think it will anymore. The parts that actually grew quite a bit are the branches of the shrub. They expanded almost 3 feet in width and a good foot or 2 in height. The panicles are also a few inches bigger compared to when I first got it, and they only are going to get bigger as the roots become more established. Other than giving it well-draining soil and a good deep watering once a week, I do nothing else to this tree. Give it a good sunny spot in the garden and it will thrive on its own. It requires very low maintenance. If you're the type of gardener that doesn't have a whole lot of time to tend to the plants in your garden, this is a great plant to have. And this is my Phantom Hydrangea tree today on September 15th of 2021. I'm gardening in Zone 8, west coast of Washington, so I can probably get away without mulching the base of the tree in the wintertime because we have pretty mild winters. But because weather is so unpredictable these days, I think I'm going to mulch it this year. That's it for me today, guys, and that's me and my hydrangea tree. I hope you enjoyed watching this video. Thank you for watching. See you next time.